Clayton, you started the season last week. Went to Grand Junction. A good bunch of teams there. Tell me about your team's performance.
Yeah, Brian, first meet of the year. It's always a great trip. It's a whirlwind. We drive, 5.5 hours, swim a meet, and drive 5.5 hours back. A little longer on the way back. We had some some traffic issues. But anyway, was a great meet. Great first time out. We had a lot of things that happened that don't necessarily show up in the results. A lot of guys working on things, a lot of tactical things that we're working on that don't necessarily pay off in the short term, but a season worth of preparation makes big changes at the end of the year. So we had some really good swims. Some young guys really swam well, and I think it showed the events that they were most comfortable in. They really stood up and really, Anthony Sebastian in a 200 breast and Louis Bodie 200 back. Camden Swigert was really good all weekend. So some of our younger guys, Jack Van Valkenburg had a nice 200 and 500. So anyway, some of the young guys really came through. Our older guys, we're used to talking about Wen Zhang. He was great. His 50 free especially was pretty spectacular and put in a couple really good hundreds, even right at the end of the meet after a lot of racing. Wen was really fast at the end of that. And then some returners who really stepped forward. Grant Affman in the 50 free, 50 fly, 100 fly was really good. And Joseph Moore had a really nice meet. Tori Bartlett really had a nice 50 breast and some other good swims. So it was a good meet overall. For us, I feel like with our team, it takes us a long time to really get where we want to be. But, that's the nature of our sport. Really everything revolves around what happens at the end of the season. And for us, that's just, we never lose sight of that. So even in the midst of racing in September, we have one eye towards February.
For sure. You tell me that all the time. That's where I was going to go next. But so now that you have some times in the pool, what do you look at? What are some things? And did you maybe swim some people in races that you're like, we're not going to do that again, or we need to continue this?
Well, there's some of that. And some of that is just the nature of the meet allows for you to swim other events over the weekend. And so it's not necessarily that, that was bad. Not necessarily that, but just as we move forward, we focus more and more on our specific events. And we're looking for growth. We're looking for growth in practice. We're looking for growth on the weekend when we swim meets. And we're looking for change. We're looking for doing things correctly, knowing that the times will come.
For sure. Now you get a week off before the next meets, 2 meets, big ones coming up. But just tell me what you do in this off time. What do you want to focus on in practice?
Well, again, we're still in a building phase where we're working on increasing our capacities. So, training like this is not ideal for racing 2 days later. Training like this prepares us for the long term. And so these are 2 really, really tough weeks. And in fact, last week was a really tough week as well. So, kind of the whole month of October into November is just a high investment time, both workload and in changing habits, in working on the things that we saw in a meet to correct those so that we can be better the next time out. We're going to do a lot of filming this week and next. And, we want to change habits now. We don't want to wait till the end to film and sharpen things. We want to change strokes now, increase capacity, and then we'll be able to race better as we move forward.
Sounds fun. Rob Clayton, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian.